have more breaks and be more productive. A few years ago, well, several years ago, I was working on an investment house and my Aunt Betty said, when we finish with this task, let's take a break. And what we would do is every time that we would do something, I don't care if it was a small task or a large task, we'd finish that task and we'd take a break. I don't care if it was for 30 seconds or for 5 minutes or for 10 minutes. What we would do is we would reward ourselves after each and everything that we'd finished. And there's a science behind this, and there's a logic behind this that's sort of really cool. What happens is that, I don't know if you've ever been around dogs. We had a dog trainer one time, and the dogs were totally out of control. And the dog trainer said, dogs are just like crack addicts, but they're crack addicts for affection. So every time that a dog does something good, go ahead and give them an ear noogie or rub their belly or do something that makes them feel really good, and they will love that, and they will do anything to get that again. And what happens is that if you go ahead and reward a dog within 4 seconds, they'll remember that forever. But if you wait more than 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, whoosh, it's gone. And they're a happy dog, but they have no idea what they're supposed to do. So one of the things that we learn from dogs is give rewards immediately. When you give reward immediately, you just have this flood of endorphins, and they're just a real happy, and they're just happy, happy, happy dog. We're sort of the same way. A lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people believe that they should have delayed gratification, which means that they're not going to reward themselves until way down the road, until everything is done. Well, what happens is that we as human beings, we have this need to be rewarded right now. So rather than having huge expensive rewards, could you have little itty-bitty rewards? I don't care what it is. Maybe it's just having a candy bar. Maybe it's having a drink of water. Maybe it's just sitting down and taking a break for a couple of seconds. But give yourself a reward every time you accomplish something. When you do that, you're going to feel that, wow, I got something done. And what will happen is that as you start doing this on a regular basis, you're going to feel better about what you're doing, because each and every time you do something to give yourself a reward, you feel, ooh, I just accomplished something. That's why you want to have immediate rewards rather than rewards after the task is done. Now, after the task is done and you have the money to go ahead and have a more expensive reward, sure, go ahead, do that. But you also want to have rewards each and every day, each and every half hour, each and every 15 minutes. As often as you finish a task, boom, give yourself a reward. Now, how do you know what tasks to do? I like to break down my tasks into small little bite-sized chunks so that you don't have, let me give you an example. When we as a nation decided to send a man to the moon, we had a deadline, 10 years. And the space organization, NASA, went ahead and broke this down into a bunch of small little bite-sized tasks, and they had project managers that were responsible for those tasks, and then they would come together and look at how the progress was going, and they constantly be updating and improving, and they had no idea how to get there, but they took on a monumental task, getting to the moon, and they broke it down into small little bite-sized chunks, and they're able to accomplish this before the end of the 10 years. We were there in June of 1969, and I watched this, and I was just so amazed. I was a kid at the time. I watched this and was like, wow, that's really great. If we can put a man on the moon using those same techniques, we can do just about anything. Take something that's large and difficult, break it down into small little bite-sized tasks until it's small and easy. And with each time you do one of those tasks, reward yourself, give yourself a pat on the back and say, wow, I did this, feel good about yourself, and that way you'll be able to move on to the next job. Now,